Hey guys, just thought I would drop another little leadership lesson for you. I hope that some of you were able to make some connections with some of our students. I'm waiting to hear back from anyone that took the little challenge. I've got you a coffee bean gift card if you were able to come up with the answers to those questions. I talked to a couple of you, and I know that you were able to have some conversations with some of the kids. Something a little more meaningful than like, hey, what's up, how's life, that kind of thing. So that's good. I got one email from one of you guys, and I thought, starting to understand, starting to see how important it is for you to build relationships with our students. So today, we're trying to make it a little more brief. Today's leadership lesson is this: is leadership, Again, leadership is nothing more than influence, nothing more, nothing less. But leadership, it's a process. It's a process. It's a process of personal growth. But there's usually three stages where most people find themselves when it comes to leadership. One place people find themselves is they don't know what needs to change, and they don't care to change. That's the worst stage in which you can be at. To think that, I have no idea what needs to change in my life. I don't have any idea what areas I need to grow in, and I really don't care. I'm just going through the motions. I'm living life. If that's where you're at, then let me encourage you to move. Get out of that way. Again, that's the worst spot you can be because that message of I don't care to grow, I don't care to change. That translates to some of our students as, hey, you don't care about me. So I don't want anyone to be in that stage. The second stage is I know I need to change, but I don't care. This is also a horrible place to be. And when it comes to that stage, you know that things need to change. You realize that you personally need to grow in different areas of your life, whether it's grow in your walk with God, grow in your relationship, grow in your personality, your strengths, your weaknesses, however that looks. You realize that you need to grow, but yet you don't make steps, and you don't process, and you don't set yourself up for success to grow, to change. And that's a difficult place to be, but I think a lot of people are in that spot. Sometimes, there's a lot of reasons why we know we need to change. We know we may need to lose a few pounds, but we don't do it. Maybe don't care is not the right word, but we just don't make the time. We don't set ourselves up to accomplish those things that we know we need to change. And if that's where you're at, you realize things need to change, but you just haven't made the steps. Then let me encourage you, find someone to hold you accountable. If your goal is to grow personally in the area of reading or growing closer to God, and one of the best ways for you to do that is through reading and spending time in God's Word, then find someone to hold you accountable. Say, hey, make sure that they ask you the tough questions. Did you read this week? Did you spend time in God's Word? Things like that. So take some time and do that. And another stage is that you know you need to change, and you care enough to do it, and you actually change. That is the best place to be, because that in a stage where you realize that you need to grow personally, and you take the time to set up a strategic process, a strategic plan to grow, that is the greatest place to be, because that will continually strengthen and continually grow your influence. It'll continually grow you as a person, and ultimately your influence level. Leadership, gaining influence, it's a process. It's a day-to-day process. It doesn't happen just overnight. God has gifted all of us differently, and some people have greater gifts to just naturally lead, naturally attract other people to them, and other people follow. I don't think I'm that person. The last 2 years, I've spent more time figuring out who I am, trying to understand my strengths and my weaknesses, so that I, in turn, can turn around and lead you better as leaders of Veritas Student Ministries. But as I lead you, I have to be on a continual progression of growth, because I can never lead places I've never been myself. I can't expect you to do things that I myself aren't willing to do. Does that make sense? So this idea of leadership, it's a continual progression of personal growth. So here's what I've got. One thing I want to do is try to help you put tools in your hands. Let me give you some suggestions. If you're a reader and you know, building relationships and things like that is an area where you would like to grow more, I've got a couple resources that are absolutely great for you. The first one is this: How to Win Friends and Influence People. I don't know if you can see that, by Dale Carnegie. I know it's old school. I know that, you know, it was written back in the 50s or wherever, but this book we read as a staff, and this book is money. So if you can pick this up or purchase this or come by and borrow it from me, but if you want to know how to win friends and influence people, this right here is your ticket, all right? The second thing is this, and this book is awesome as well. I've read this as well, 25 Ways to Win with People by John Maxwell. If I've got 2 copies of this, so if you would like to check one of those out, kind of like as a mini library, as long as I get them back, you can come by my office. This one's really short, and Maxwell's stuff's really easy to read, so this is your best bet. Another one that we just finished is called Relational Intelligence. We read this as a staff. It's how leaders can expand their influence through a new way of being smart. It was an interesting read, a different thought process that went into this. But this right here is a really good book as well, and you can check that out from me as well. Again, I'll let you borrow the books if you want them, as long as I get them back. But I want to try to give you different things so that you can continue in your process of personal growth and leadership. Hey, just want to say you guys are doing awesome. It's great to see everyone there this week, that everybody was there, showed up early. I appreciate that. You were there 15 minutes early. And keep working on building those relationships, building those connections. It's the greatest thing you can do. Thanks for loving on our students. Thanks for loving God. You guys have an awesome day. Enjoy your weekend. And I will see you guys later.